Hi everyone, and welcome to Anne Arundel County Recreation and Parks' first ever Ask a Ranger webinar. My name is Leanna and I'm a naturalist with the county, and although I'm not technically a ranger, I still like to count myself among our awesome crew of rangers that we have. So in our Ask a Ranger webinar, we asked you all to please provide us some questions that you have about our natural world here in Anne Arundel County, and you did not disappoint. You gave us great questions and we're here to answer them for you. I'll be the first one to answer your questions, so let's get started. All right, so we're here at Jug Bay Wetland Sanctuary. It is a 1,700-acre nature preserve in southern Anne Arundel County. And a recent visitor named Christina Carvet asked, did I really see cactus in the meadows of Jug Bay? And the answer is yes. You will see cactus here in Maryland, and actually this particular cactus is called the Eastern Prickly Pear Cactus, is the most widespread cactus in all of the United States. It's found as far west as Montana, far south as Florida, and as far north as Massachusetts. So a couple cool things to point out about this cactus. One, it is completely spineless. There are no spikes or spines anywhere. However, it has these tiny needle-like hairs called glochids all over the plant. If you're going to handle a prickly pear cactus, definitely be using gloves. Even the fruits have it, all the pads have it, and they're really irritating if they get in your skin. Second, how do we have a cactus in parts of America where we have snowy winters and very cold weather? Well, this cactus has the ability to produce an antifreeze compound that prevents it from totally freezing over winter. It can also draw water out of its pads, and it might look a little shriveled during the cold months, but it will rejuvenate during the warmer months and in the summertime. A last really cool fact about the Eastern Prickly Pear Cactus is almost the entire plant is edible. So the pads can be sliced up and add to scrambles like scrambled eggs. It can be pickled and added as an accompaniment to your meal. And the fruits are a delicious mix between bubblegum and watermelon flavor and are great for jams and jellies. And also, I hear they're great for cocktails, just like this one. But I can't enjoy it quite yet. I'm on the job. At 5 o'clock, I'll definitely enjoy that. And so that's everything I know about the Eastern Prickly Pear Cactus. So thanks again, Christina, for your great question. It was really great to answer that for you. And so now I'm going to hand off to our next ranger in the Ask a Ranger webinar series. His name is Ranger Victor from Mayo Peninsula Parks. So Victor, take it away.
Oh, hey there. Ranger Victor here at Beverly Triton Nature Park, just fixing on one of our wood duck boxes. Speaking of birds, I'm going to be answering a bird question from one of you today. Come to my office, let's check it out. Okay, let's see what we have today. Jennifer and Leslie asked, what bird is calling in my backyard? Also looks like Jennifer sent us a video clip, so let's take a look at it and see if you know it. Wow, fantastic. Do you have any ideas? To me it sounds like a white-throated sparrow. Identifying birds by their calls can be very tricky. That's why we have some memorization tools we call mnemonics to help you remember your birds. For example, a barred owl sounds like hoo 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 hoo, which you can remember as who cooks for you? And for the white-throated sparrow, oh sweet Canada, Canada, Canada. If you're trying to learn, I suggest picking 2 to 3 birds that are common to your area, memorizing the calls, and listen for them next time you're at home or at the park. Thank you, Jennifer, for your question. That's all the time we have for today. We're going to be taking another question from Charlie for Ranger Fallon at Downs Park. Remember, stay safe, stay curious, and I'll see you next time.
My name is Charlie. What do you do with the injured animals you find at the park?
Hi Charlie, thanks for your question. My name is Park Ranger Fallon Scarantino from Downs Park in Pasadena. As like many other park rangers, I have a deep love and appreciation for the wildlife in our parks. It's one of the many reasons why I love my job so much. When it comes to sick or injured animals in our parks, here are the best ways that we can assist. We can view the animal from a safe distance to determine whether or not the animal is actually injured or sick. We can identify behaviors such as limping, slow or staggering walking, unnatural flight patterns, loss of appetite, unawareness, confusion, and many more to determine the severity of the injury or the illness. If the animal is showing signs of needing urgent medical care, there are a few things that need to be done. If the situation is safe, it is best to remove the animal and keep an eye on it while we search for help, such as putting a turtle with a broken shell in a box or a squirrel with a head injury into a cat carrier. We then want to bring that animal to a safe and quiet place. Unfortunately, as park rangers, we do not have the permits or licenses needed to medically treat injured or ill wildlife. With that being said, Maryland is home to dozens of certified wildlife rehabilitation centers that are more than happy to provide assistance. To find one of these centers, please visit the website here. On this page, on the Department of Natural Resources website, you can search for licensed rehabbers by county and by what animals they care for. This is the best resource to use when trying to track down help for our injured park animals. Once we have found a rehabilitation center, we try to arrange transport of the animal. If the rehabber is local, I've even transported injured wildlife myself. As park rangers, we try to do our best to protect and conserve our park resources. That includes our wildlife. If you have an injured animal in your backyard, don't panic. Use the DNR resources I provided to find yourself a rehabilitation center near you to get your animal help. Please do not try to medically treat or relocate that animal on your own. If you have any additional questions regarding injured animals in our parks, feel free to give me a call at the Downs Park office at 410-222-6230. I'd be happy to provide assistance.
Hi Eric, I have a question for you.
Hey Fallon. So Loreta from Fulton, Maryland wants to know what is our least common animal found in the parks? Okay, I think I can answer that. Well, Loreta, it's gonna be pretty hard to answer that question from in here. So why don't we take a jaunt outside and we'll take a look at what we can find.
Ah yes, the great outdoors. We're gonna take a walk and see what kind of animals we can find out here. So more or less, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna walk around or drive and we're gonna find what animals we see. And if we see them out in broad daylight, they're probably pretty common animals. It's the ones we don't see are the ones that are the least common.
Oh dear. When being chased by a bear, going up a tree is also not the best idea. But it's a good thing I can't climb, and it's a good thing there's no bears here. A beaver lodge is a sign that beavers live here. So they are in fact in the park.
Do you see the tiger? Me neither. There's a squirrel. So the odds are you're probably not gonna find one of these in the park.
Do you see an owl in that tree? Because I don't. Probably because there's not one there.
Just because you don't see an owl in that tree doesn't mean it's not in the park. Just means we're not at the right place. However, I will say they are around here. You can definitely hear them at night. But they're relatively territorial, so I'm not expecting to find more than maybe one or two in the area. At least in this park.
Wow, wasn't that something? A jaunt around the park. Well, as we can see, we do have a lot of animals in the park. The ones that we saw out in broad daylight are probably more of our common ones. We have a lot that we won't see because it's still daylight. A lot of animals are nocturnal. I would say that if we had to put a stamp on our least common one, I would probably say it's the owls. The great horned owl has a tendency to be very territorial and kind of take up a lot of space, so it kind of pushes the other owls out. I hope this answered your question and hope you're having a great day. Back to you, Liana.
And that's a wrap. Thank you all so much for sending your questions in for our very first ever Ask a Ranger webinar. We had such a great time making this video for you all, and we'd love to do it again. So if you think of questions about the natural world or about recreation here in Anne Arundel County, please send your questions to jubbay@aacounty.org. Please also include your name and the town that you're from. And if you want to be creative, we would love to see a video of you or your children asking your questions too. So until next time, see you guys in the parks.